Culturally, their story contributes to the ongoing destigmatization of pregnancy loss. For centuries, families were encouraged to remain silent about such tragedies, leaving parents isolated and unsupported. The Howards' openness not only honors their daughter, but also extends solidarity to countless other parents who have walked this painful path. In doing so, they remind us that every life, no matter how short, deserves acknowledgement and remembrance. Moreover, the global response to their announcement demonstrates the power of community, even digital community. In times of hardship, messages of love, empathy, and shared sorrow poured in, proving that compassion transcends screens and borders. In a time when online spaces are often associated with division, trolling, and hostility, this collective mourning shows another possibility: the internet as a space for empathy, connection, and healing. Ultimately, Matt and Abby's story is about more than loss. It is about courage, the courage to speak, the courage to set boundaries, and the courage to keep moving forward even when shattered. It is about love, the love they have for each other, for their children, and for their daughter who will forever be part of their family story. And it is about hope, the hope that even in the darkest valleys, light can still break through. As the Howards step back from public life to grieve privately, their story will continue to echo. It will echo in the hearts of those who have lost children, in the minds of those who advocate for openness about grief, and in the digital footprint of community that came together in sorrow and support. Their baby girl may not have lived long on this earth, but through her parents' words, she has already touched countless lives. In the end, the Howards remind us of something deeply human. Grief may devastate, but love endures. And where love endures, there is always hope. The grief is absolutely devastating, is how Matt and Abby Howard described their baby girl's death. In an Instagram post on Saturday, September 27th, Matt and Abby Howard, who are podcast hosts and influencers, revealed that they are grieving the loss of their third child. Abby, 26, was about 17 weeks pregnant when the couple posted a photo of their hands clasped together in a hospital bed. It is with very heavy hearts that we share about the loss of our baby girl born far too soon. The couple wrote, "The news felt unimaginable. The grief is absolutely devastating." Abby and Matt, 27, wrote, "But we feel so much gratitude for the time that we did get to have with her. And we still have hope. Hope has continued to show up for us in so many ways." Our doctor could not find a heartbeat at a routine pregnancy appointment. So shortly after that, they sent us in for an ultrasound where the technician said words we will never forget. "I am so sorry, I do not have good news." The post went on, "Thank you everyone for celebrating this lovely life with us for the past 17 weeks, the couple said, adding, "For the time being, we will grieve and continue to think of ways to commemorate her life offline." The content creators, who are based in Arizona, announced their pregnancy to people in August. The Howards, who have two sons, Griffin, age 3, and August, age 2, are open about their desire to keep their children's lives private and to maintain a healthy balance while posting on social media. In November 2024, the high school sweethearts, who were married in 2019, told people that their top priority is privacy and that they collaborate to curate their content accordingly. They also stated that they never publish anything without both of them approving it first. At the time, Abby stated, "Privacy is very essential for our family, so it's an area that we run by each other. Anything that's really important is the health of our children and details about location, whether that's when we're traveling or our own house." The details of the loss, as shared in their Instagram post, were as heartbreaking as they were raw. Abby, 26, was around 17 weeks pregnant when doctors were unable to find a heartbeat during a routine checkup. She recalled how the ultrasound technician delivered the painful news. "I am so sorry, I do not have good news." This is a moment that thousands of parents dread, and for the Howards, it marked the beginning of a profound grief. The couple described their emotions in layers: shock at the news, devastation over reality, but also gratitude for the short time they felt connected to their daughter. "Thank you everyone for celebrating this lovely life with us for the past 17 weeks. They wrote, acknowledging the role that their followers have played in supporting their pregnancy journey. At the same time, they stated their desire to process the grief offline, indicating a careful balance between public acknowledgement and private healing. This particular form of loss, losing a baby midway through pregnancy, is sometimes called late miscarriage or stillbirth, depending on the specific gestational age and circumstances. For parents, the distinction is less important than the emotional impact. They were preparing for a new life, had publicly celebrated it, and suddenly had to come to terms with devastating absence. The language of their post, grief mixed with gratitude, devastation alongside hope, shows how complex grief can be. It is rarely one-dimensional. Even in the midst of unimaginable pain, they sought meaning and expressed appreciation for brief but real connection with their daughter. Social media, privacy, and public grieving. One of the most striking aspects of this story is how it unfolded online. In previous generations, pregnancy loss was often suffered in silence, shared only with close family or friends. Today, many parents choose to announce their pregnancies and, consequently, also their losses on social media. For influencers like Matt and Abby, the dynamic is even more complex. Their livelihoods depend on openness and sharing, yet they are also committed to protecting their family's privacy. By carefully crafting their statement, they manage to acknowledge their grief without oversharing intimate medical details. The devastating loss that Matt and Abby Howard experienced is not just a personal tragedy. It is also a mirror through which we can reflect on broader themes of love, resilience, grief, and the role of community in healing. Their baby girl's passing at 17 weeks reminds us of the fragile nature of human life, a fragility that so many families have encountered but often felt unable to speak about openly. By choosing to share their grief in a thoughtful and measured way, Matt and Abby have invited the world into a space that is both deeply painful and profoundly human. One of the most powerful elements of their story is the delicate balance they maintain between vulnerability and privacy. They did not sensationalize their loss, nor did they conceal it completely. Instead, they walked a middle path, one that acknowledged the reality of their baby's existence and the enormity of their grief while still protecting their family's sacred boundaries. This approach models a healthier way of navigating grief in the digital age, where oversharing can sometimes cheapen trauma and silence can intensify isolation. Their choice to include words like gratitude and hope amid devastation is also profoundly meaningful. It speaks to a paradox of grief, the ability to hold space for contradictory emotions. They grieve their daughter deeply, yet they are grateful for her existence, however brief. They are devastated, yet they still cling to hope. This nuanced perspective is important for anyone navigating loss, because it validates that grief does not erase love or joy. It often deepens them.